If it isn't broken, why fix it? That old phrase has applied completely to WWE Raw. On the air for more than 24 years, the show has gone through many changes and upgrades, but there are a lot of elements that have remained the same. 10 ways WWE Raw hasn't changed in 24 years. Relive the historical show to see why WWE remains must-see programming week after week. Check out ways Raw has never changed, but before you do, click subscribe. You'll join our notification squad and be the first to know of new content. Think you're the ultimate Monday Night Raw fan? While you're watching, we'll test you with a quiz that would stump even die-hard WWE fans. See if you know the answer, and we'll let you know if you were right at the end of this video. Squash matches. You can always count on Raw for a good squash match. Not everything is going to be filled with compelling storylines or main event drama. The flow of the show has relied on squash matches to help put superstars over. Back in 1993, it was the monster Yokozuna taking on his opponent week after week. During the Attitude Era, you could witness Kane dominate all types of opponents like Flash Funk. The Big Red Monster wouldn't be where he is today if his dominant squash matches didn't truly showcase how powerful he was in the ring. In the early 2000s, Brock Lesnar joined the WWE in a dominant way as he tore through opponents with the same speed and aggression that he uses today. In 2017, it's the monster Braun Strowman scaring off local competition. Braun Strowman initially started off as just a big man in the Wyatt family, but it was his handicap squash match that helped elevate him to the main event status against opponents like Roman Reigns. Even though the matches are predictable, a squash match is an ideal way to introduce a new superstar, showcase finishers, and build up some easy heel heat. Expect to see more of these matches in the near future. Tag team main events. Many episodes of Monday Night Raw are used to build up pay-per-view matches. This is why the competitors of multiple matches are often tossed together for a tag team main event on Raw. It's fun to watch different duos team up, turn on each other, and ultimately end up brawling. You can always count on a general manager to come out and put an arguing group of superstars against each other in a tag team match. We've seen some great tag team main events through the years. These matches have included superstars like The Rock, The Undertaker, Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, The Hardy Boys, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, and John Cena. One of the most memorable WWE tag team matches took place just days before WrestleMania 18. The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin battled against Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall back in 2002. All 5 superstars are legends in the business, and it was great to see them all compete in the ring at the same time. The Rock was in the ring for most of the match, but Austin came in for the save at the end and landed a huge right hand on Hogan.
For those of you who love ad-free viewing and free things, we're excited to announce the Premium Network. The Premium gets you early access to videos from TheSportster, CBR, The Gamer, and many other great channels. Literally thousands of videos in one place with ad-free browsing. How sweet is that? Sign up for free at The Premium by clicking the link to start binge-watching videos from your favorite channels.
The PYRO. WWE Raw is not just about wrestling, it's comedy, it's entertainment, and a live celebration, and filled with some of the greatest pyrotechnics. In the early days, it was Shawn Michaels and Psycho Sid that had fireworks go with entrances. Once WWE Raw started touring around arenas all over the world, it really allowed the pyro displays to expand and become more impressive. The opening segment of Raw would really get crowds hyped up as fireworks blasted off, music played, and everyone got ready for the opening segment. In the years that followed, WWE Raw only improved the fireworks and used them for superstars like Chris Jericho, Edge, the Hardy Boys, Bill Goldberg, and Kane. It's nearly impossible to not see an episode of Raw where pyro is not going off. One of the greatest entrances with pyro on Raw belongs to former WWE superstar Batista. His fireworks shot off like a machine gun, shaking arenas and bringing an instant intensity to any of his matches. As new superstars debuted and looked to make an impact, you can definitely expect to see lots of fireworks in the future. Live and unpredictable. Other than a brief period in the late 1990s when certain episodes would run on tape, WWE Raw has been live and unpredictable. There's something exciting about watching the show live. During Stone Cold Steve Austin's Attitude Era, it was exciting to see a swear of middle fingers break through the censors. When D-Generation X made Raw their stomping grounds, you never knew what was going to happen. Big-time matches on Raw also had a great feel. One example that comes to mind was when Eddie Guerrero and Rob Van Dam had a ladder match where a fan actually ran into the ring. Or there was a Raw main event where Triple H tore his quad on the announcer's table. You feel like anything can happen, crowds can hijack the show, and it has a special feeling while watching. One of the best aspects of the live Raw episodes are the crowds. Crowd chants add a lot of craziness to the show, and it's all unfiltered because the WWE cannot edit them or tune them out. This is why it's great to watch in-ring promos and hear the "what?" or "yes" chants coming from the audience. No wonder SmackDown finally changed their tune and went live on Tuesday nights. WWE Superstar Debuts. WWE Raw has acted as the perfect platform for superstar debuts. Some of the greatest WWE wrestlers have made their first appearances on Raw. Brock Lesnar jumped the ring and silently attacked several superstars as Paul Heyman stood by his side. Mankind introduced his creepy gimmick and started one of the all-time great feuds with The Undertaker. The night after WrestleMania 19, Goldberg made his shocking debut when he confronted The Rock and told him that he was next. One of the greatest superstar debuts on Raw came from none other than Chris Jericho. For weeks, fans watched a countdown clock that would randomly appear on Raw. Many assumed that it was a countdown to the year 2000, but that wasn't the case. It was for the debut of Y2J. Jericho made his triumphant entrance, delivered a great promo, and then traded insults with The Rock. Now, we can watch and see a ton of NXT stars making their debuts on Raw. This includes superstars like Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Finn Balor. The tradition continues and helps create a lot of great moments. Here's that quiz question before we get back to our trip down WWE memory lane. Let's see if you can solve this quandary. Finn Balor made his WWE Raw debut in 2016. Who was his first opponent on the show? The Undertaker. The first episode of Monday Night Raw featured WWE superstars like Shawn Michaels, Yokozuna, Razor Ramon, and the Macho Man, Randy Savage. The only wrestler that's still an active member of the WWE in 2017 is The Undertaker. He may not wrestle a full schedule, but he still draws huge crowds and cheers for any Raw appearance that he makes. The history of Raw also showcases the history of The Undertaker and his legacy in the WWE. During his early days, he was accompanied to the ring by Paul Bearer. During the Attitude Era, The Undertaker transformed into an even darker demon as he formed the Ministry of Darkness. Then, The Undertaker transformed into an American badass, riding his motorcycle on Raw week after week and feuding with superstars like Triple H and Hulk Hogan. In more recent years, The Undertaker has returned to his signature look, slow entrance to the ring, and is constantly making fans happy when he appears on Raw. Even though he may be retiring after losing to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, The Undertaker will return to Raw one day. The Undertaker was known to the SmackDown brand for a long time, but he has always made his presence felt on Raw. The Raw after WrestleMania. For years, one of the greatest Raw traditions has been the Raw after WrestleMania. The special episode always features the fallout from the event, honors new champions, and helps set up new storylines for the whole summer. Crowds are crazy, surprises often occur, and there have been numerous title changes. The Raw surprises only get crazier after each year, and it is often looked forward to more than WrestleMania itself. After WrestleMania 19, we witnessed Goldberg's debut and attack on The Rock. After WrestleMania 28, Brock Lesnar returned and attacked John Cena. The night after WrestleMania 29, Dolph Ziggler cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase and defeated Alberto Del Rio to win the World Heavyweight Championship. After WrestleMania 30, The Ultimate Warrior made his final WWE Raw appearance. On the same night, Paige made her main roster debut and defeated AJ Lee for the Divas Championship. The crowds are another huge highlight of these shows. They've sung Fandango's theme song, did the wave, and chanted hateful things at superstars like Roman Reigns and Sheamus, among others. Each year, the Raw after WrestleMania gets bigger and better. Going overtime. WWE Raw is scheduled to go on air until 11 p.m. The live aspect of the show almost always guarantees that it will go a few minutes over. Sorry to the shows that have followed Raw, but it will never end or cut off right at 11. This means you do not know the exact time a match or segment will end. You don't know how the finish will play out. Now, we even have the advantage of catching extra action on WWE Network, even if the show has gone off the air. During the 90s, it was a huge pain when recording episodes on a VHS tape. Now it's a huge pain when our DVR cuts the episodes off. Even with the listed end time, you can expect to enjoy 10 or 15 extra minutes of wrestling action. This is great for championship matches, huge brawls, or confrontations that you don't want to end. Back in 2007, Shawn Michaels and John Cena fought in the main event Raw match that went nearly 15 minutes over broadcast time as the two competed for over an hour in the ring. Fan signs. The fans have always been one of the most important parts of Monday Night Raw. They are there to chant, boo, and cheer on WWE Superstars. They have always brought signs to the show. It adds a whole extra element when you can read signs and get entertained during the process. Back in the day, signs were simply made with markers and cut out images from the WWE magazine. Now, they are more complex, colorful, and a huge part of the show. Instead of seeing signs with Austin 316 on them, we are treated to crazy designs like Cena's moving hand and text that reads, "You can't see me." In more recent years, viewers have been on the lookout for the WWE sign guy. He wears a signature red hat, sits in the front row for shows, and is always displaying hilarious signs focused on superstars. His creative signs have sparked the imagination of other fans that all bring signs to their own shows. Now that Raw is in HD, it's easier to read fan signs and see all the creative ideas that fans display for the camera. The presence of Vince McMahon. Not only is Vince McMahon the owner of the WWE, but he has been a Raw staple since the beginning. Within the first few minutes of the initial broadcast, Vince was introducing us as a main commentator. In the years that followed, he would begin a bitter rivalry with Stone Cold Steve Austin and eventually transform into a fan favorite every time he came out. He left the announcing booth behind to fully transform into the character of Mr. McMahon. Just in his feud with Stone Cold, we've seen Vince be held at gunpoint, watch his car get filled with cement, and see him get his fair share of Stone Cold stunners. After Stone Cold has retired from wrestling, Vince has remained, becoming an authority figure that went up against the likes of Hulk Hogan, DX, and even his own son Shane. His No Chance in Hell theme song is a classic, and Vince always tries to outdo himself with a huge announcement. Vince McMahon is the ultimate WWE villain, and fans love to boo him when he's bad. Not only is Vince a Raw staple, but now his children appear on a weekly basis. Hey, thanks for watching. Now let's see how much of a WWE Raw fan you really are with this trivia question. Finn Balor's first official WWE Raw match was actually a fatal four-way against Cesaro, Kevin Owens, and Rusev. Balor won the match and went on to beat Roman Reigns later on that same night. Well, there you have it. What is your favorite part of Monday Night Raw? What things do you wish they would change, or what should always stay the same? Is there anything that we missed? Let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to TheSportster on YouTube.